All right, everybody, this is a broadcast of the Ebony Star Network. This is Gangsta Talk. Got a very interesting show tonight. Wow. What's going on here? White boy gets smoked by the race soldiers. Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump show up. A lot of indications. I think I know what's going on. We'll talk about it on Gangsta Talk. Up right now. Hit it, Dane. All right. What's going on, everybody? It is Gangsta Talk. I am the notorious Gangsta Simp. And what's going on? Shout out to Auntie in the chat. Before I get started, let me get a sound check. And if you can hear me loud and clear, Press the one in the chat. Anybody that can hear me, make sure you put a one in the chat, please.
Okay. I can hear you.
All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, Dane, put a crump and sharpen up on the screen. Um, we're gonna get into this. There's something going on here. All right. I think I know what it is, and if it is what I think it is, you are witnessing the end of race in this country as we know it. All right, along with a couple of other things that's going to be different. Okay. Now, a white boy. Okay, I'm sorry, I did it back. They put the white boy up on the screen. Let me start there. All right, now this guy here named Hunter Brenton. Now, excuse me. Apparently, he was gunned down by a race soldier while he was working on his truck on Highway 89 over in Arkansas. Now, I'm listening to the report, and we're going to have Dane read the report here in a minute. A couple of things stood out, okay? I noticed that the family kept saying what he was doing, but they so far never mentioned that they was in contact with him before he was shot. That's one. And there were no witnesses. Nobody said that they saw anything. So I'm kind of wondering how the family knew what he was doing if there was no witnesses and they never mentioned being in contact with him once. Never said he was on the cell phone. Never said he called them and said anything. But for some reason, they knew what he was doing and they knew what was in his hand. Now, I don't know how they know that when they didn't contact him. They did not talk to him before he died, and then there was no witnesses. So I'm not going to say I'm not ready to say this is staged yet, but it already stinks. Now, put a Coon 1 and Coon 2 up on the screen, Dan. All right, now these two fellas here need no introduction. They're over there talking about some Hunter Britton and George Floyd were brothers. Yeah, you heard what I said. They're over there talking about these are brothers. Now they're in a town that is 93% white. So far, we don't know what kind of effect that they're having on that town. Now, I believe this is white people trying to gracefully bow out of racism by appearing to be race friendly, understanding, on their way to abolishing qualified immunity, convicting more officers. You see, because you have to understand something. Racism is bad for business. It's bad for relations. It's bad for society because our society is fast becoming an alien society. Pretty soon you're going to see people walking around with bat wings, 3 lips, 3 eyes, maybe more than 2 ears, 12 fingers on one hand, maybe a shade of blue as far as their skin or green. Maybe there'll be some antennas coming out of the back of their head. Maybe they'll look like gargoyles or urchins or fire imps or little devils with pointy tails. Now, y'all think I'm talking crazy right now. I'm telling you, this is coming. You need to start paying attention to the way people look. I keep telling y'all, Little Wayne is turning into a giant bat right in front of everyone's eyes. There's more out there. There's more weird looking people out there that they're trying to get away with saying that these people have deformities and birth defects. So, in order for these aliens to exist among us and be counted as normal, and then you have your regular alphabet freaks who are running around here with all kinds of disgusting perversions and all of their costumes. In order for all of that to be accepted and be a truly equal society, well, they got to get rid of the very thing that's bad for business. And racism is bad for business. It's bad for relations. It's bad for race. It's bad for social anything. It's bad. The liberals want to abolish racism because it's just bad for what they want to do. They're trying to turn this into a alien society to where it'll be normal to see a freak walking down the street, someone who's 13 feet tall, or someone who has a nice skin tone of light blue or burgundy or purple. One person having a very large eye and a very small eye. Maybe they have a nose with three nostrils or three rows of teeth. So in order to do that, you have to get rid of the concept of race, and then feed us this. We're all one people. Now, I bet you say, well, Max, where the hell did you get all that from? I got that from one very simple thing that Benjamin Crump said. He said Hunter Britton was just like his brother George Floyd, called them brothers. He said George Floyd and Hunter Britton are brothers, even though they look nothing alike, don't have the same parents. One is Caucasian, the other one is black, but they're brothers. Now, another thing is going on here that I see. Now, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just giving you my wacky and crazy commentary about what I think I see. Here's another thing, too. They could be creating a us against them mentality amongst the people, meaning us, the people, the new weirdo society to be, and them, the police officers, the Gestapo, the murder squad. Derek Chauvin said something very interesting when he was trying to express condolences to the George Floyd family. At the end of whatever the hell he was trying to do, he said that there's something coming, that there's more to come. What could he be talking about? Could he be talking about a new society standard. This is the end. What you're seeing is the end of race as we know it in this country. White people are bowing out of racism gracefully, trying to save face. All their antics and all of their tactics haven't worked up to this point. They tried to make black people the new face of hate crime. They tried to make black people the new face of white supremacy. Everything has failed. The Asian thing was exposed for it being fraudulent. The Hispanic woman that was so-called attacked is fraudulent. And other failed attempts. So what you see now is white people saying, oh, the heck with it. Let's just get rid of the concept of race. And how do we do that? We need to get Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton. And hey, we got a white boy who was shot by a state trooper or a police or a sheriff, deputy, whatever the hell he was. Let's use that and bring in Al Sharpton, put some more money in his collection plate over at the Action Network, give him a few more buildings and a little bit more grease for a slick back haircut. And allow Mr. Duplicitous to do his thing. A sideways bucking, spurious, duplicitous, backstabbing race trader, Mr. Sharpton. Dang, pull up that article.
All right.
Let's get started on this article. I want you guys to pay attention to what's being said. Be very careful how you read this. I want them to hear this because I got a lot to say tonight. Go around and let's get it started.
All right. Okay, this happened in BB, Arkansas. The Reverend Al Sharpton, an
Speak up, Jane.
attorney. Huh?
Speak up. Can barely hear you. Speak up.
Okay. Let me check. All right. All right. All right. The Reverend Al Sharpton, an attorney for George Floyd family, on Tuesday morning, a white Arkansas teenager fatally shot by the sheriff's office. Sharpton eulogized 17-year-old Hunter Britton, who was shot and killed by a white Lonoke County Sheriff's Deputy Sergeant Michael Davis during a traffic stop June 23rd near Cabot, about 30 miles northeast of Little Rock, Arkansas.
Stop. So he's been brought in to eulogize a white boy who's been a victim of white on white crime, something that they say doesn't exist. You know, the manosphere, coons like Jesse Lee Peterson, Candace Owens, Ken Hamlin, Larry Elder, and his Eldorados. They say white on white crime doesn't exist. Apparently, this young man was a victim of white on white crime. The problem is, what business is that of Al Sharpton? And this week, so-called poor excuse of a lawyer called Benjamin Crump. Black people, Benjamin Crump is not somebody you call to get anything done. He's somebody you call if you want to look ridiculous. No one takes this man seriously. Read on, Dane.
Okay, the killing in the predominant white community has drawn the attention of national civil rights activists.
Stop. The killing in a predominant white community. 93% white. What business is this of Al Sharpton and Huckleberry Crump? What are they doing there? This is none of their business. This is white on white crime. I'll tell you what they're doing in a little bit. Go ahead, Dane.
All right, Sharpton um, says concerns about police tactics aren't just limited to the black community.
Okay, now stop. That right there is an attempt to create a us against them mentality. You think it'll work? I don't
Mm,
know. It could be interesting.
mm,
They say that there are white people who exist that don't like racism. I haven't seen these white people, but they say they exist. You think the tactic of creating a mentality amongst the people of all races, a us against them mentality,
hmm,
could be interesting.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's going to work, but it could be interesting. Go ahead, Dan.
Now, in BP's high school, where Britton was a rising senior, Sharpton told the Pack Auditorium, the issue of policing is not about black and white. It's
Okay,
about
stop.
right.
Now here's another problem I got. They didn't mention the white boy as a scholar. Usually, when white people are shot, young teenagers, they straight A students. They're the next coming of 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 uh, Rip Van Winkle or Aristotle. You know, didn't say anything about this man's grade. Not one thing. No straight A student. No straight B student. Hell, not even a straight C student. Didn't mention anything about his grade. Usually, when you can go back in history and see whenever there's white kids involved in school shootings and stuff like that, and they're telling you the victims, oh, they're honor roll students, they're straight A students, they were the smartest people in the world because they were white.
Mm,
They were Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Cinderella on her off day, even if she was missing a slipper. But for some reason, this young man, nobody mentioned anything about his grades in school. That's different. Good, Dane.
yeah, he said it's about right and wrong. Um, okay,
No, he said that this is not about color. It's about right and wrong. Again, this is the end. You're witnessing the end of race, the concept of race. This is how they're going to do it. They're going to get rid of hate crime. It's going to be, we are all one race now. We are all one people. This is the new world order mentality. Once they get you thinking this way, then they can slide in a world currency and other worldly things that they want you to interact in. This is how it starts. Go ahead, Dane.
Okay, at the memorial, many wore jeans and T-shirt that read "Justice for Hunter."
All right.
Yeah. Mm.
At the memorial, many wore jeans and T-shirts that said "Justice for Hunter." How far are we away from the "I am Justin Hunter" chant?
Mhm.
Like we heard George Floyd. Yeah, white people all around the world talking about "I am George Floyd." Are we going to see black people now say "I am Justin Britain"? That was Is that what's going to take place? Read, Dane.
Okay. Crump and another lawyer named Jacob invoke other people killed by police. Of course, the Breonna Taylor with the botched police raid. And then he led the crowd in chants of Crump led the chant of Hunter Britain Lives Matter.
Okay, stop.
They,
Hunter Britain's life matter. I mean, you guys starting to get it. Hunter Britain's life matter. But that's not the good stuff. Keep reading that. We get ready to get to the good stuff. Yeah, yeah, Dane.
he said, because he's not here, we have to unite together and make sure people all over America know we will get justice for Hunter Britain.
Stop. To make sure people all over America, not the world, but all over America. See, that was specific. That was said. That wasn't a error. He meant to say that.
Hmm.
He meant to say all over America and exclude the world. There's a reason why he's saying all over America. Go ahead, Dave.
Okay, okay, this might make you kind of mad. Lenoke County Sheriff John Stanley last week fired Davis, uh, that's the guy that shot Hunter, for not turning on his body cam until
Okay,
after he had shot Britain.
stop. Wow, that's a bomb right there. The cops don't turn on their camera after shooting black people, they don't get fired.
Exactly.
This murderer got fired immediately because he turned off his cam before he killed that young man. I mean, does something stink yet?
Hmm.
What's that smell? Smells like white bullshit.
Or privileges, as we
Read,
like.
Dane.
Okay, the sheriff said the only footage police have is from the aftermath. Arkansas State Police are investigating Britt's death. Davis is Davis is white. Now, why they
Hey,
had to
stop.
point?
The only footage the police have is from the aftermath. Saying while I'm talking about this, don't they have a video?
Um, no.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a video.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, go see if you can track it down while I keep the people busy. Let me know when you got it.
Okay.
All right. So the police have footage of the aftermath after the boy was already laid out. Now, I got a couple of problems. One, there are no witnesses. The report says nothing about witnesses, and the report says nothing about he was in contact with his parents before he was shot. You're going to hear later on, or you'll probably hear it in the video, right? Something very strange coming from his parents. Parents said that he was holding a jug of antifreeze in his hand. How did they know that? If they wasn't in contact with him before he was shot and there was no witnesses, how did they know he was holding a jug of antifreeze in his hand? Now, I'm not hollering fraud yet. I'm just saying there's nothing mentioned in the report that they talked to their son before he got murdered. There's nothing in the report that said anyone witnessed anything. So how did his mother know he had a jug of antifreeze in his hand right before he was shot? And the police footage don't have that. All they have is the aftermath. I guess the antifreeze could be somewhere in that footage. We don't know. We haven't seen the footage yet. But I'm still trying to figure out how his family knew he had a jug of antifreeze in his hand when they had no contact with him before he was killed and there was no witnesses. Okay, here we go.
All right. Okay. This channel may contain content not authorized for use by its owner. However, according to Section 107 of the Copyright Act of the United States, the fair use of copyrighted work for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research is not infringement of copyright.
All right, roll that tape.
Story out of Central Arkansas. An officer involved shooting leaves a White County teen dead. According to the Lone Oak County Sheriff's Office, a deputy made a traffic stop about 3 this morning at Mahoney's Paint and Body Shop in Cabot. The deputy opened fire on 17-year-old Hunter Britton of McCrae. Britton later died at a North Little Rock hospital. No word on what led to the shooting. Arkansas State Police is investigating.
Okay. All right. So that's it on it. Because, hey, the dude didn't have his body camera on. He turned it on after he shot. So they didn't have anything except a little bit of aerial footage, and you can't see anything by it. And I still think it might be the aftermath.
Is it over already?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just hit the last part.
Yeah.
Knocked off. So they said right now they don't know what led to the shooting. I thought the video was more than that, but Al Sharpton was talking. You don't have that? Okay, apparently Dame though.
Max, I can barely hear you.
I said you don't have the one with Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump talking.
Oh, okay. No, okay. Let me go back in again.
All right. Anyway, the thing that's getting me is that if they're trying to create the mentality of it's us against them, again, like I said, I don't know if it'll work, but it can be interesting to see how that plays out. And how would that work? How would they treat the officers? So in order for this new utopia, right, where all one people work, you have to get rid of all of the bad elements that threaten it. And racism threatens everything and everyone, including the racists. Their lives are in jeopardy too. So racism threatens everything. They got to get rid of it. And what way to make black people forget about racism than using them to think that they are abolishing racism? Well, that's a clever psychological tactic, don't you think? Let the Nagas think that they abolish racism and let them run around with their bullhorns and social media channels and scream to the high heavens that they got rid of racism. And so now we can exploit these Nagas even further because they think that we're their friends and we are on their side. They will call us brother. You already got black people calling white dudes brother. He just called Hunter Britton George Floyd's brother. So this brother crap will no longer include people that look like you. The brother thing now is going to mean non-black people who are connected to you who should be treated like human beings. Now they're going to demand that you treat non-black people in a respectful manner. After all, they're your brothers and sisters. Even though they didn't come to your aid when shit hit the fan. Go ahead, Dane.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, we don't have any sound, Dane. Can you turn it up?
Is that the max, Max?
All right, then forget about it. We can't hear it. It's no good. We can't hear it.
Okay.
All right, but that was Benjamin Crump mumbling some stuff about racial equality and all this other stuff. Okay? Extending everything to white people. Now, mind you, the town that they in are 93% white. I don't know what the remaining 7% is comprised of. But this is very interesting. Now, what's this?
Okay, this is Sharpton doing the eulogy of Hunt and
All
Britton.
right, all right, let's hear it.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming to honor the life of Hunter Britton. It's I've got mixed emotions. I'm encouraged about what God is doing, but I am in pain because of what it has taken. It's there's a lot of things in this life that just don't seem fair, and we all experience that many times in our life.
Pause it, Dane.
And
I just said pause it. Why you jump all the way up there? Anybody notice something strange about that white man? You notice that his hair is starting to look nappy? Anybody starting to notice white people walking around with nappy looking hair? I'm starting to notice that. You also notice his skin. has a tan, like a brownish tannish tone to it. He's not completely white. James, don't do that.
Oh,
All right, play it.
all right.
You know, it's there's a lot of things in this life that just don't seem fair, and we all experience that
Pause it
many
again.
times in our.
I want y'all to start taking a look at white people the next time you go outside. You haven't been paying attention to this before because it wasn't pointed out. But you're going to start seeing white people with coarse, dense, nappy hair, like African. Go ahead, Dave.
Our life. And a lot of times, every time, this is meant to draw us closer to God, but also to give us a compassion for one another and a love for each other.
I want to start off by saying, Hunter, I love you, son, and I miss you. Your life had meaning. You're loved.
Now,
Your family
pause,
will not
Dave.
stop having.
Now, clearly, the lack of emotion here is astounding. We are clearly two different kinds of people that they're trying to bring together as brothers and sisters. How would we live? How would we get along? They aren't like us. They can't even feel for their own kind. These people don't feel anything. There's no compassion coming from their speeches. They don't even know how to display compassion. They're just up there reading like they just want to get this over with. Go ahead, Dan.
Advocating until we have justice for you, Hunter. And also justice for all our other brothers and sisters dying at the hands of law enforcement hired to protect and service
Stop.
around this country.
People, pay attention. There is that phrase again. Our brothers and sisters dying at the hands of racist cops. When have you heard a white person say that? I haven't. So let's put down, what have we learned? Super Dumb Crump says that George Floyd and Hunter Britton are brothers. Al Sharpton said it's not a color thing, it's a right and wrong thing. Like it wasn't right and wrong when it was a color thing. And now you have these experimental white people who are heavy on the melanin pill and the urban steroid, talking about our brothers and sisters. Who are they talking about? Is he talking about black people? Who are they? Who are their brothers and sisters dying at the hands of racist cops? Play it, Dan.
These unjust killings happening around our country demand sacrifice from
Stop.
each of us.
The unjust killing. This white man is regurgitating things that he heard black people say over the years from witnessing their loved ones being murdered. How many times have black people yelled The phrase unjust, these unjust and unjustified killings of unarmed black people. Now white people are saying it. Black people say that we're tired of our brothers and sisters being murdered by race soldiers. Now white people are saying it. What's that smell? Smells like bullshit to me. Go ahead, Dane.
We'll have to stop all this civil unrest, black and white, people dying at the hands of the police. I will not apologize for these killings because unarmed people die every day, like my nephew Hunter, without the benefit of a trial.
Stop.
Qualified immunity must end.
I'm confused. In the beginning, he said that his brother Hunter was murdered by a racist cop. Then when he got the black people, he took the racists off and said police. Then he said he won't apologize for these killings. People die every day. Uh, what? WTF? Anyone? Go ahead, Dane.
Qualified immunity must end for law enforcement officers in this country.
Okay, stop. Qualified immunity must end. Dane, what is qualified immunity? All right, apparently Dane did not hear me. Can you guys hear me?
Okay, sorry. Okay, qualified immunity is civil servants, politicians, and police officers are to, if their actions are judged that it violates the rights of constitutional rights of a person, um that they won't be protected um from um from suit.
So basically, they want to end the qualified immunity that protects police officers who murder innocent people from being sued
Hmm.
and prosecuted under the full extent of the law.
Yeah.
This is weird because all of these white people who are members of the NRA, and the one that was up there, he's probably a card carrying member of the NRA, and he's talking about qualified immunity. That's weird. Play it.
Came here today to all proclaim in unity that America, President Biden, the governor of Arkansas, and people all over the world would stand up with us and say, Hunter Britton, life matters. Say it with me. Hunter Britton, life.
All right, this is why you never hire a guy like Benjamin Crump. Now, these white people are confused in the audience. They don't know what to do. You know why? Because they've never gone through this before. This is something that they've only seen black people go through. So he's on some rah, 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 sis, boom, bye. They in there talking about, Mabel, is this where we supposed to raise our hand? Yeah, just raise your hand. I think I've seen black people do it a lot. Okay. Look at these white people. They don't even know what to do. They don't know whether to clap, raise their hand. They have no idea because they're not used to being in this position. They're used to seeing black people go through this. Play it, Dane.
Life matters. Hunter Britton, life matters. Hunter Britton, life matters.
Now, Dane, back it up
Hunter.
to Trump again. Back it up to Trump again at the beginning. Stop. Go to Crump. Crump. Stop. Now listen, people. When he does his chant, I want you to really take a look at the white people. They have no idea what to do. They don't even know what he's talking about. Go ahead, Dane.
To all proclaim in unity
Pay
that
attention to the white people.
America, President Biden, the governor of Arkansas, and people all over the world would stand up with us and say, Hunter Britton, life matters. Say it with me. Hunter Britton, life matters. Hunter Britton, life matters. Hunter Britton, life matters.
Okay,
Hunter.
stop. Did y'all see them white people? They had no idea what to do. Hey, Lester. Yeah, Bobby. We what we supposed to? What is he saying? What is the nigger man saying? Oh, I think this is where you're supposed to raise your hand. Raise my hand for what? I ain't wearing no deodorant. I don't want to raise my hand too high. I might offend someone. Uh, Bobby, what did I tell you about not using deodorant? Well, I didn't know. They dragged me down here and said that I was supposed to do something, but I forgot what I was supposed to do on the way down here. Hey, yeah, Susan, what's that smell? Oh, that's Bobby. He probably didn't wear no deodorant. Jeez, I hope he don't raise his hand. What we supposed to be doing now? Well, the nice nigger man said, "With lives matter." Oh, okay. Now we supposed to do something? I think when they say that, I seen the nigger people, they say, they raise their hand. I guess maybe we supposed to raise our hand. Okay. White people don't know what the hell to do. They're not used to this. They've seen nigger people do it. They don't know what the hell's going on. Go ahead, Dane, play it.
Should be preparing to have his final year of high school to where he will be ready to graduate with you all in the class of 2022.
All right,
But he
stop.
is here.
What prominent lawyer worth anything says you all? I mean, this man is barely verbal, but he's some kind of recognized attorney. Well, I don't put too much stock in civil rights attorneys. But all they do is stand there and yell, "We shall overcome. We're going to get to the mountaintop," even though that there's no way to survive when you get up there. There's no running water, no bathroom facilities, no farming, fertile land to grow anything on. Nobody's got a portable stove or a George Foreman grill. No one has any groceries. There are no animals up there. I'm not sure we want to go through the mountaintop. We might want to stay on solid ground where we could at least kill a few animals and get something to eat in case we're starving. Go ahead, Dave.
Right dead in this cat. I don't know if Hunter was in a rich neighborhood with a certain clothes on that night, driving a certain car, whether this policeman would have acted that way. I don't know what the reason is, but I do know an unarmed 17-year-old young man should have been given the benefit of due process
Now
and
stop.
not be shot down.
Now, I like what Sharp is doing here. Now, it sounds like he's cooning, right? But I like the comparison that he made when he came down to the clothing. You know, this sartorial expression that young black boys have that for some reason white people seem to be scared to death of. So I like the connection that he made when he said he could have been wearing a particular line of clothing. Maybe he thought Hunter was black. Maybe he didn't see Hunter's face. Maybe Hunter had his back towards him and was dressed like a nigger. And so he shot him and realized that he was white when it was too late. Yeah, I like what Sharpton is doing here. Yeah, that's another thing. He got fired for turning off that cam. That's unusual in itself because usually when the police turn off the cams and they kill black folks, they don't get fired. They go on paid leave. They go on administrative paid leave, as in they still get a paycheck while they're not working. While the police union and everybody else, the blue ball of silence, trying to find some way to cover this shit up. Go ahead, Dave.
And be considered guilty until proven innocent. I do know that the purpose of having body cameras is not to turn them on after you shoot. If you had enough time to decide to shoot, you had enough time to turn on the body camera and show us what you were shooting about. Amen. And lastly, I want to say that Attorney Crump told me that all Hunter had in his hand was an antifreeze can. And maybe that's the message Hunter left us with. We need to break the frozen hearts that separate us.
Dave, stop. All right, so apparently that's where the antifreeze came from. Okay, maybe when they went to the scene, he still had the antifreeze in his hand, and that's probably how the family heard about it. Because it sure enough wasn't in the report anywhere. Nor was it in the report that there were any witnesses. So you have Al Sharpton doing a eulogy for a young 17-year-old white boy, a victim of white-on-white crime. The officer probably thought he was black, according to his sartorial expression, and shot first. Well, no, he turned his cam off first. Then he shot. So this was premeditated, as far as I'm concerned. You turn your cam off and then start blasting. You intended to do that. and then turned it back on after you murdered the dude. I mean, that reeks of intent. And I think that the problem was when he turned the cam back on and went over there to take a look at his newly trophied Negro that he thought he shot and turned him over, it was a white boy and he freaked out. Kind of like Tom Jerry does when he gets, Tom and Jerry, when Tom gets scared, his eyes bug out his head, his tongue sticks way out, his mouth gets really, really wide and big, his hair stands up, and his tail gets really, really long and pointy. And he yells, and and he lets out a funny yell. I guess the cop can hear in his mind over and over again. Oh, you done did it now. Oh, you done did it now. So what does all of this mean, people? It can mean several things. It can mean that we're witnessing the end of the concept of race as we know it in this country, to usher in all of these aliens that are already walking around out here. And on top of that, on top of that, we're talking about a us against them mentality with the police officers. Interesting concept, and it could be interesting. Again, I don't want to sound redundant. I don't believe it's going to work, but it could be interesting if that's what they're going for. I mean, I would like to see them at least try it to see what happens. Will we get crazy white boys instead of doing mass shootings where they start offering the police? Hmm. I told you guys a while back that you should have voted for Trump. That Biden and Kamala Harris were a couple of monsters. And who was going to reap the day you put them in office? A lot of black people use the excuse of racism not to vote for Trump, the lesser of the two evils, the way lesser of the two evils. But no, you listen to fools like Lamont Hill, buck dancing coons like Roland Martin, who was dancing a jig for Hillary Clinton and have no shame of himself. Do all of these Democrat coons convince you to put these two monsters in office? They intend to wipe out the concept of race in this country. Because I don't know if y'all noticed, the number of weirdos and crazy people and lunatics in this country, the numbers are rising at a rapid rate. And they want these people to have quality. Hell, they even want pedophiles to be classified differently. And that's coming too, because they're about to lower the age of consent all across the board. Their goal is 3 years old. The reason why they're shooting for 3 years old, because this will justify pedophiles. Why they're doing that? Why they're going for that? Because most of the people that run this country are sadistic, deviant, homosexual, and pedophiles. They don't want to hide anymore. They want it to be normal. They want their perversions and their sickness to be normal and accepted amongst mainstream people as if nothing was wrong with these perversions. Mambala is making a strong push for their own civil rights. I'm starting to believe that civil rights was a setup, and black people were guinea pigs of civil rights. We were the experiment to see how civil rights will play out in this country. Now that it has played out to the tune in which the white folks like to listen to, they are now adopting civil rights and weaponizing it to bring about their perversion, deformity, and their horde of biological monstrosities of humanity. They're using and weaponizing civil rights, which they're going to use to justify and normalize Pamela and get the age of consent down to 3 years old. And there won't be anything you can do to stop it. You already have black men now who done jumped on board with the idea and calling 3-year-old little girls whores and bees, like they're out on the hoe stroke, talking about kicking their heels and showing their legs, talking about come up and see me sometime, big boy. So you have black coons and the black hand of white supremacy and the black sexual deviants and perverts already brought in and are doing their part to make sure the age consent law gets knocked all the way down to 3 years old. Remember, I said to you before, you guys probably thought I was a fool when I said this, but I believe I will have the last laugh when I told you that they're trying to take the power away from parents. If they get the age consent down to 3, that will effectively render parents powerless over their children. And make no mistake, these people are extremely intelligent. You're not dealing with any dummies. They've thought of everything. Most of these people who are wicked and filled with demonic energy and are perverts and pedophiles are pure vegetarians. They don't eat meat. They don't eat processed food. But they understand how important the health of the mind is. You're not dealing with a dumb enemy by any stretch of the imagination. You're dealing with a very sophisticated, a very high level thinker, an extremely intelligent, dangerous, and deadly enemy who is both perverted and a monster. Oh, they're not just going to come at you and say, we're going to lower the age consent law down to 3. No, there's going to be a series of events that's going to take place that's going to soften you up first. Why do you think the murderers of women and children and shooters of intruders into their home are getting younger and younger? Has anyone paid that in your mind? They just had another intrusion where a 12-year-old boy dropped an intruder with a rifle. So those incidents are going to become more, and the children who are pulling the triggers on the gun are going to get younger. Soon you're going to hear one of them was 9, then 7, and possibly 6. All of these things help them to lower the age consent law because it's a puzzle that they're putting together. They're using misdirection and deception to get this law passed. And guess what? They're going to get women to condone this law. I've said to you before, the woman is the one with the real power and has the final say so. Because men will come to women for approval. So when they come up with this stuff, they will go to women with this stuff to get their approval. And women are going to sign off on it. It's going to become law. And the parents will no longer have power over their children. Because at the age of 3, your child can make his or her own decision. And there's nothing you can do about it. So if your child decides to consent with a relationship with a grown man, there's nothing you can do about it. Now, I know you think that sounds crazy, right? But not every 3-year-old goes goo goo gaga, goo goo gaga. You guys heard of think tanks, right? Well, some of these tanks have some amazing young kids. Amazing. So before I get out of here, I have to get a couple hours of sleep. Let me bring in Dame here. Come in here, Dame.
Okay.
Dame, what are we witnessing here, in your opinion?
Um, I think we're witnessing uh trying to more fully, you know, take black issues as their own. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also black people think, okay, I got one of y'all got killed. May y'all understand better, you know, support the qualified immunity. That's the biggest problem, besides them shooting us, of course.
So you have white people who are trying to take black issues and adopt
Hmm.
them as their own. Or they're trying to connect with us on some kind of strange level. They're trying to become us. They're trying to replace us with themselves. to effectively end racism. Now I don't know if it's going to work, but at this point, I don't see them putting a stop to it. They're going to go through with it. They will go through with it. Shout out to Yvette in the chat. What's going on, sweetheart? I'm frozen. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. I think they're trying to make themselves a Naga wake up call. Except there's one problem. They're not Nagas. They're not black. They hesitating because either one or two things happen. They never paid any mind. That's a black issue. You know, it has nothing to do with us. Or they supported the qualified immunity. Yeah, we won't be able to get any cops if they think that they're gonna be sued for doing their job. They missed the point. These cops ain't doing their job. Their job is to protect and serve. Unless somebody's life in danger, they shouldn't be shooting anybody. The only person life in danger is on the other side of their guns.
They protected and serving all right. They're protecting themselves and serving up everyone else.
Um,
Oh, they protected and serving.
Max, can barely hear you. You're on the floor.
You hear me now?
Still too low.
All right, I'm not sure what's happening.
Okay, this is a little better. This is better. Okay, go ahead. What you were saying?
I think my headset is burning out.
Uh,
Can't hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. People in the chat, can y'all hear Max Black Knight?
All right, we're not going to be on here all night. You know, we just wanted to. I thought this was very interesting. We have two of our most, well, not two. We have one of our most famous so-called activists eulogizing a white teen that was a clear victim of white-on-white crime, something that they say don't exist. And then he brought this bootlicker crump with him, who I have no idea how the hell is he an attorney. And they cooned it up. They cooned it up. And let me explain something to you. They look very comfortable up there amongst those white people. I mean, they look very comfortable. I think Sharp stayed on code a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
I like the comparison he made with the sartorial expression. But anyway, Dave, I'm going to get some sleep.
Okay.
And shut it on down.
All right.
Let you stay on a little while longer and talk.
Okay.
You can, but I'm jumping out of here. I gotta at least get 2 hours sleep before I finish this drive.
Okay.
All right, y'all. I'm a break out. Peace, power, and unity. I think Dave is going to stay behind for a few more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So like, subscribe, and share, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to this podcast, Gangsta Talk. And we should have a good show coming up for you on Ladies Night. We're working on some other stuff because apparently topics we had last time didn't work. So we're going to make it a little bit more interesting. So we're working on some things. All right? All right, everybody. Peace, power, unity. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and support the channel. I'll let you guys later.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now, Sharpton has said something about Hunter did nothing wrong. Just like we felt George Floyd did nothing wrong. Sharpton told reporters before the memorial, if we segregate how we act, then we're wrong. Okay, all right. I think when it say something like that, when we segregate how we feel, Um, now he might be trying to put, Brad and Becky's on point. Y'all been ignoring this, saying it's a black person problem. You know, nothing wrong with the police. You've been ignoring everything blacks been telling y'all about the police, how they doing wrong. Y'all voted to not diminish the qualified immunity or make it, less all inclusive, especially so they can keep uh, cops from hiding behind it to keep from being held accountable. But in another sense, I'm thinking it's trying to chastise us because we starting to become black first. Start thinking about our people first. You know, especially as the more and more we see, you know, every group is trying to where they eating off of us. They're trying to make us the problems for what's being done to them. We got we got the anti-Asian. They're starting to do the anti-Mexican. Now, now they can't do anti-white, but they can go like we're your new allies. We understand now. We got it. It happened to one of our own. Our children could get shot too. hmm So that we don't pull away or make us ashamed to be, pull away and think of ours 1st. But either way, they always say the same thing. Like this one guy said, I never thought anything like this would happen until it hit so close to home. Yeah, it was happening to black folks. It was a few Hispanic people, maybe some Indians. I don't know, but it was happening to black people. Black people in the front of it. Oh no, that has nothing to do with us. You know, is one of the reasons why you never thought anything would happen to you because y'all know you're privileged. You know, you didn't think, you expect, maybe somebody, if your people doing wrong, they get shot. Okay, oh well, they were doing wrong, but you never thought that, hey, innocent, not doing anything, minding their own business, get pulled over for a traffic stop, and now they're gone. No evidence of what happened, so you don't know really what happened. Just that they're gone, and except unlike y'all, we have to go through the agony of going through torture for and years and fighting and have to pretty much have a riot and threaten to blow everything up before justice is even lightly done, you know. But y'all still got the white privilege going on because hey, we can see it. One, you never thought it would happen. Two, the officer was immediately fired. It's like, well, he turned the camera off. Oh, you know how many officers turn the camera off and they kill black folks? But hey, y'all have many black folks in y'all town. Y'all 90%. Even at the memorial, I saw a handful of black people and they were all the way to the back. Back of the bus. They probably was there because they clean up the school. They the janitorial staff. And maintenance. Probably the cafeteria ladies. If they did something a little quick repass or something. Yeah. Looked like they were there to open up the school and lock up the school, clean up after y'all. Mm-hmm. But you know, we good people. You have our sympathy. But you know, hey, y'all look mighty uncomfortable using the word brother. Okay, instead of talking about what good nephew and all that stuff is, you're reading a letter about qualified immunity. Instead of being mad that this happened, you're talking about other black folks that got killed. Okay, you seem stiff, seem unusual. I'm seeing you looking down and reading the script. In fact, you dropped it when y'all supposed to stand up and clap or raise your hands. All right. So I never see. Okay, another person, Melissa. She's a mail carrier known Britain since she was a baby or well, a toddler. Never expect anything to happen like what happened, especially not just a country boy working on his truck, taking it for a test drive. Yeah, country boy, white boy, same thing. Well, not necessarily the same thing, but that's what they're thinking. Let's see. Do we want to finish listening to that eulogy? See what other stuff they might have been saying?
Yeah. Maybe, maybe that's Hunter's message to us. That we've been frozen in our own race. We've been frozen in our own class. We've been frozen in our own zone. We've been frozen at our own comfort level. I believe that today Hunter is calling for us. It's time for some antifreeze. Get out of your frozen place and let's stand together. Let's unite together. Let's fight together. Let's march together. Let's stand together in Hunter's name. It's antifreeze time. It's antifreeze time. It's antifreeze time.
Okay. Okay. Only one problem with that. One problem like that. We always been well unfrozen. Trying to get others to march with us. Become allies to do things because what's good for the black folks is also good for the white folks. Every other race in between. But now you're trying to because we're starting to pull away. We're starting to be about ours. We're starting to segregate ourselves from the the other communities. Oh, now we gotta no. We gotta desegregate. Desegregating didn't do anything for us. We might as well be with our own. Do for our own. So I'm not gonna feel ashamed that I'm segregated. Yeah, I'm sorry for y'all lost a son, but hey, we lost a whole lot of more people. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, everybody. I'm going to end it here. Oh, well, you missed the last of the eulogy, truth is. You missed my comment. I'm not repeating it again. So, Yeah. So, hey. Okay, so we starting to pull back. We're starting to segregate ourselves. We're starting to, put us first. Got shoved, 50. Wait, let me see. No. Let me go look. I gotta go a little further back. 70 years of trying to be allies with other groups. Now, didn't do anything. In fact, they used us to get what they want and left us behind. So, hey, I'm like, forget y'all. Hey, Max. I'm about to shut it down.